Hey everyone, welcome back to Topher Drives. So this week I've been living with the brand new 2025 Nissan Murano Platinum. This one finished in champagne silver. I have a very special guest with me today to demonstrate how good, or I guess bad, it is to live with this new Murano that is new for the first time in 10 years.
Wow.
Did you know that?
I did not know that.
So the biggest thing with this, and I actually went to the launch event in Nashville, Tennessee to drive this alongside the new Armada, which we actually have next week. But the biggest thing with this car is they got rid of the V6, they got rid of the CVT. This now has a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, makes 241 horsepower, 260 pound-feet of torque. They ditched the CVT. That's what we're all most excited about. In its place, a 9-speed, regular old torque converter automatic. The top two trims, the SL and the Platinum, come standard all-wheel drive, that you can get front-wheel drive in the base model SV. As I said, this one is the Platinum. It costs about 50 grand. This particular one is like 55,000 because it has 5 grand worth of, in my opinion, useless dealer accessories. But the base model starts at 40, so even in base form, it's not really that cheap, though it does look very different from the outgoing Murano, and I think it looks quite a bit like the Nissan Ariya. A lot of people are kind of just calling it the gas version of the Ariya. Lots of similar vibes, and I kind of think it looks like a Lexus RX.
I was gonna say it's Range Rover-y.
Oh, yeah, like an Evoque.
Like an Evoque, yeah.
Like a Range Rover Evoque. Yeah, I can see that on the front. I don't like this bit. I think this is wrong.
Yeah.
It's very harsh.
Yeah.
Because like the car, it's very flowy, lots of curvy lines, and then you just have this harsh bumper line right here. Yeah. And also the paint doesn't match perfectly from the front bumper to the fender, just because this is, I mean, it never matches perfectly from plastic to metal, but I think because this front bumper is so big, it just, I don't know, it's a little bit strange. But I think this is kind of going to be the corporate design language for Nissan going forwards, if Nissan has a future, because some of the new concepts we've been seeing do follow this. Obviously, the Ariya started the trend, and this was next up in line. So today, we are going to go get some smoothies. We're going to go to Whole Foods, and we're going to show you what it's like to live with this new Murano. So let's start in the back, where I actually do like the way the back looks on this. I like the hips. This line right here, that works for me. I also like the clear taillights. What do you think?
Yeah.
It's very beige. I wish they would have sent a blue one, but
beige.
That's okay.
And they definitely want you to know that it's a Murano.
Lots of Murano badges. We'll show you. There's another one on the dealer accessory carpet. But jokes aside, very usable sized SUV. I think this is a nice size, and there aren't really a ton in the segment that really compete with this. The Murano kind of has its own little niche in the SUV segment. Underneath the trunk floor, we have a compact spare. We have the amp, or whatever that is, for the 10-speaker Bose sound system, which we will test out for you guys today. Do we have bag hangers? Yeah, it looks like, is this a bag hanger?
Mm-hmm.
I think it is. So obviously the paper bags won't go on that, but a couple of little indentations here to put things, and the load surface is quite nice. Sits just below my hips at 5'11". And what do you think?
Sure.
Okay. Power liftgate, of course. I'd imagine. Yeah, well, that's for the license plate.
Oh.
For wheels, we have a 21. We're riding on a set of Bridgestone Alenza Sport All Seasons. These are a 255/50R21, and these actually have aero covers. So where you see the darker black in the metal, that's aluminum, and then this dark gray is actually plastic. So these pop off. What is in this wheel right now? Some kind of a flower or something. Looks like Emily has decided she's no longer interested in being outside, but not a huge fan of the way that these wheels look. And I think these are standard on the SL and the Platinum. The SV does get some slightly different wheels. Up front, the DRLs kind of follow the shape of the grille. I do enjoy that. I think that's probably my favorite part about this front end. Not sure how I feel about this big kind of black interruption here in the front, but I don't know. Overall, I think Nissan has to be taking some risks. I think it would have been dumb for them to just make this look like every other SUV, because they have to be bold if they want to make a comeback. So let's jump in the back seat. Show you what that looks like. Inside, the interior is mahogany. We have this nice quilted leather two-tone with black. We have sunshades in this Platinum model. I've also just noticed the Murano glass trim, which we'll talk a bit more about once we're up front. It doesn't continue to the back. The back door panels just have this like gray trim.
Why do companies do that?
I don't know.
Sad.
I know. I mean, most of the door panel matches. The mahogany leather on top, the black leather on the bottom, but I mean, how much more would it have cost them to make 2 more pieces of that blue and gold trim? Anyway, let's pull down our center armrest where we have 2 cup holders, and will you hand me my phone, please? Thank you. Little spot which I imagine is for your phone. It fits my iPhone Max just fine. So I had a friend back here a couple days ago, and he was like, wow, this back seat is really uncomfortable. And I thought he was just being dramatic, but he was not being dramatic. It's kind of like a very stiff bench back here. I don't know how they've managed to make this seat bottom so hard, but as far as room goes, I'm just fine. Sat behind myself here. These seats do indent, but only 1 seat back pocket there on the passenger seat. Plenty of headroom. Did I say how tall I was?
Yes.
Just now? Okay. We have our own climate vents back here. We have heated seats. We have 2 USB-C ports. And even though this is all-wheel drive, we don't have a huge drivetrain hump. So you could take 3 adults back here. It'd be a little tight here in the middle. And somehow this middle seat, it kind of just feels like a church pew. It's like even more uncomfortable. Yeah. So luckily, the front seats are not like that. The front seats are very comfortable. They just kind of, I think, cut some costs here for materials in the back. Kind of gray, plain, very non-high-end looking gray headliner. I think they could have done a black headliner in here. That would have looked a bit nicer. Before we jump up front, let's pop the hood and show you this 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder. And we have hood struts. This 2-liter VC turbo, this carries over from the Altima turbo, and there's another car that has this that I'm blanking on right now, but this is not a new engine. It is new to the Murano, of course, as I mentioned, and 241 horsepower, 260 pound-feet of torque in a 4,500 pound car. Doesn't feel like the most, but it feels about on par with the outgoing V6 Murano. So there you go. There's that 2-liter VC turbo. Let's shut the hood and we will jump up front, and we'll show you the rest of the interior. You can also get the Murano with a 2-tone painted black roof, but not if you get champagne silver. This is only available with a body colored roof. The one I drove at the launch event, I believe that was Aurora Blue, and it had a black roof and it had blue interior. I was kind of hoping to get that spec because that is just a very cool combo, but I don't know. We've got double brown for you today. Okay, so up front, so the whole Murano name, it's named after this island outside of Venice that blows glass that's like a very high level of purity with like woven gold and bits into it. I had my assistant look up. I was a little bit unclear on the whole Murano thing. But this is not glass. It's plastic. But they've made it look like the Murano glass. And it is very pretty. This is a very nice looking interior up front. It's got this nice leather-wrapped 2-spoke steering wheel similar to what you see in the Aria, and the mahogany leather on the dash is really nice. Top of the door panels, I mean, up here the wood is nice. It's a pretty nice place to be up here. As we said earlier, seat comfort is nice. There's a ton of adjustment, but let's actually go ahead and start it so you guys can see everything lit up.
That is so polite.
Yeah.
That is so polite.
I was hoping you'd say that. I agree that it's quite polite. Only thing in here ergonomically that's a bit weird is the infotainment system is pointed away from the driver.
Yeah.
It's pointed at you. So that's a little bit strange, but there are other things in here that are very ergonomically pleasing, like this roller on the steering wheel, which is perfectly placed for the angle of your thumb. You see that?
Yeah.
So
Wow.
that works pretty well. Power adjust steering column. We have a physical button for our heated steering wheel, but no physical button for the heated and ventilated seats. You have to go into the climate control menu to access those, where they are 1 click away. Emily.
I have noticed something.
Okay.
Side of my seat, there is a button.
It's for the massage. Yeah.
A massage.
Yeah, but don't get your hopes up.
Oh.
It's not that great of a massage. You know, like the ones where it's just the lumbar that goes psh, psh.
Yeah.
Are you using it?
I just turned it on.
Is it on right now?
I clicked it and it said on.
Now it's off. Now it's off. Oh no, it was on before. Now it's on. Anyway, we have...
Oh.
It's quite loud.
It's quite loud.
Yeah.
I'll turn it off.
Okay. I don't want to come off like we don't like this car because, okay, here's the thing. I love Nissan as a brand. They make a lot of great cars. You guys saw my review on the Versa, the Sentra, both really nice entry-level cars, and I think that's kind of where Nissan shines. And I want to see Nissan succeed, so can you turn that off?
It is off. It is off.
I want to see Nissan succeed, genuinely. I know a lot of great people that work for Nissan, and this car, I think for Nissan working with what they have is actually really impressive. But I still want to be fully transparent, and I want to be able to come out and say everything that I don't necessarily like about it. So that's what we're doing today. Climate control panel down here lives inside the wood trim. It's all haptic touch, and you do actually have a good amount of, I want to say physical, but I should say independent climate control down here for temperature, for fan speed. It's just a bit weird. I wish they would have put a couple more things because, like, for example, like we said, the heated seats live in here. To toggle your AC on and off, you have to go into the infotainment. And then also to change where the vents are blowing, you have to go into the infotainment. So the climate control is kind of scattered throughout the cabin. You've got some on the left, you've got some in the infotainment, and you have some down below the vents. So I suppose if you're somebody that uses automatic climate control, it's not a big deal. And there is even an auto setting for your heated seats. So you can leave everything in auto. You don't have to touch it all. If you want to do that, then you're going to be golden. We have wireless Apple CarPlay in here. Works nice. I have had it drop CarPlay a couple of times for me, but the infotainment seems to work okay. Lags a little bit. But I like the backgrounds that they put in these.
Oh.
So this is, since it's daytime.
You can link our garage app to it.
Oh yeah, we have the MyQ app.
Yeah.
That would be really convenient.
It's really convenient.
Yeah. We have built-in Google Maps, so that's nice to see. But of course, still CarPlay, like I mentioned. That's a really nice Audi S4. Places to put things. We're using those today for 2 big dumb cups. I've got this white one, and your straw's been vibrating the whole time.
Dancing.
The 2-liter's been like oscillating it. Yeah. But cup holders, pretty good. They don't perfectly hold these in, so I'm a little bit worried that they're going to be smashing into each other the whole
Mine's
review.
perfectly held in.
So it's just my cup.
Yeah.
You've got this little cubby right here, and then there's a spot in front of the push button shifter to put your phone. You've got 2 USB-C ports up there as well, and then there's also even more room under the console.
Big old spot.
Big old spot. Okay, let's leave the parking lot. Into reverse on the push button shifter, you can see we have a 360 camera and a very low set reversing camera, though quality seems to be okay for a Nissan. Usually their camera quality isn't that nice. Electronic parking brake over by your left knee. That will automatically disengage if you have your seatbelt on and you start moving. I've also noticed this has a very sensitive rear automatic emergency braking.
Yes.
Every time I've been going like faster than 2 miles an hour backing into the garage this week, it has slammed on the brakes in the middle of the garage.
Good.
And I think it's because everything is set so low down, it sees the angle of the driveway and it thinks that you're about to crash. Into drive, front camera pops up. Love to see that. Steering is pretty light. Steering wheel itself is a good size, feels nice in the hands, really soft leather. Ride quality is pretty nice as well, even though we have 21-inch wheels. Still have a 55 section sidewall, and obviously since Nissan is trying to market this as a bit more of a luxury SUV, they've made the damping on the softer side. Throttle response is a bit dull. We do have 3 different drive modes on this: Eco, Standard, and Sport. Obviously, Sport mode does sharpen that up a bit, but then the car is holding gears and things, and Standard is still where you want to spend most of your time. Emily's just going to be holding that water today, so it's not clinking against the other one. really have to get into that accelerator pedal for anything to happen. And where this is the most prominent is when you're doing something like this, where you're going 50, 60 miles an hour, you're coming into a corner where you want to slow down. So we're coming in here, the car has not downshifted, it's sitting at like 1400 RPM. We're gonna come around this corner. Yeah. So it's a little bit of a guessing game with how much throttle to give it, because if you don't give it enough, it's bogging at like 1800 RPM, and then if you give it a little bit too much, it downshifts way too far and it's at like 4500 RPM and it's a little bit jarring. So I think they could work on the throttle tuning a bit here. Brake pedal feels pretty good. 9-speed, very smooth gear changes, though kind of going along with the throttle tuning, it does feel a little bit confused. This is why I like to live with these cars too, because like I said, I went on the launch event, and when you only drive a car for 30 minutes, sometimes you don't notice certain things. I think if they could just work on throttle and transmission tuning, overall driving dynamics would be just fine, because this does feel quite soft, quite floaty, which is exactly how I would expect it to feel. A lot of understeer there. It's not a sports car. Chassis feels fine though. I mean, there's not like an offensive amount of body roll. Should have been in sport mode for that. There's sport. We don't have adaptive dampers or anything in this car. But we'll stop over and we'll do a 0 to 60 for you guys so you can see how quick it gets off the line. Do you have any thoughts on the Murano you'd like to add in the meantime?
No.
Okay.
That's fine, comfortable.
Yeah. So sport mode does hold a pretty low gear. You can see we're at 3000 RPM. We have steering wheel mounted paddle shifters. This 9-speed is a slush box, but that's okay. I have absolutely no problem with that. I think a transmission in a car like this should be aimed towards smoothness. I don't need this to be firing off gears. All right, let's do a quick 0 to 60. Might want to hold on to yourself for this. All right, we'll brake torque it here. We're in sport, and the auto stop start is on. Let's turn that off. Build some boost. $60. I mean, it gets quick enough. Like,
You're not taking this to the racetrack.
well, no, but I think for what it is, it's fine. Like, I don't think I would want this to be any faster. There's a little bit of turbo lag low down. Ride quality is great. It's probably one of the best parts about this car. All right, let's get this Murano out onto the highway, show you what it's like as a commuter, show you driver aids and things like that, talk about ergonomics, all the normal stuff. Nissan always does a great job with their seat comfort. I don't know if these are technically like the zero gravity seats like they used to market back on the Altima and things, but they are quite cozy. Emily demonstrated the massage feature earlier, which is not really something that I would use because it's quite mediocre. But just as a seat on its own, there is more lumbar adjustment than you would get on similar cars for 50 grand, meaning that this goes up and down, not just in and out. And there's a pretty good amount of support in this. Once you're on the highway, that 4-cylinder ceases to exist, very quiet, and even, you know, back there in some of those spirited sections, it's not really the grainiest 4-cylinder. I mean, it makes a little bit of noise, but it could certainly be louder. So I appreciate that even though Nissan has stepped down from a V6 to a 4-cylinder, they haven't made it super obnoxious. We do have a form of Pro Pilot Assist here on the Murano. It's not the full Pro Pilot where you can just kind of watch the road and the car will do the rest. We also have a steering assist. Toggle that on. And you can set this cruise control. Okay. So we have adaptive cruise, we have steering assist, all the normal stuff, though this will only let you drive without your hands on the wheel for, like 3 seconds, and then it yells at you to touch the wheel once again. Between the Topher and I, we have put almost 400 miles on this car this week, which is a lot. But the Topher said he took it to Lansing and back, so about half those miles were that trip. With some highway mixed in, 21.2 mpg is what we've been averaging, obviously with a winding road drive, some spirited driving here and there. I mean, just kind of as a very normal combined figure, just over 21 miles to the gallon. Will you check the window sticker and see what the rating is, please?
It's rated for 23 combined.
20. Okay, so we're not too far off of that. What's the highway rating?
27.
27. Okay. It's pretty quiet though on the highway. Like, even with today being a pretty windy day, it's not an offensive amount of wind noise. These tires are pretty quiet. Also, this Bose 10-speaker sound system features like a auto road noise canceling thing.
Cool.
Yeah, so it does simulate it to be even quieter when you are listening to music, so I'd love to see that. Seating position is pretty good. The only thing I'm going to complain about here, actually doesn't even have to do with seating position, but it does have to do with visibility. This rear view mirror, it's very cheap looking and it's very small. I wish that it was either frameless or a camera. And I know Nissan makes camera mirrors. I think the Armada, I feel like the Armada I drove, at least the QX80 definitely had a camera rear view mirror, so they are out there. All right, let's turn off the steering assist. Let's cancel the cruise control. I also want to compliment like the openness of the cabin. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Like a lot of headroom in here. You could be super tall and drive this. There's just a lot of room. Good places to put things. Cabin feels pretty open. The console does stick up a little bit high, but it's got a little bit of padding here, so if you are resting your leg on it, you're not going to be too fatigued. But driver's compartment itself is really, really big. Elbow comfiness, it's okay. I mean, there's a little bit of squish here on this center console and the door panel. They feel just about the same, which I've actually been finding lately that door panels are actually more padded than center consoles, but these feel just about equal. Able to use some of that mid-range torque there to make a pass. That was actually probably the nicest I've ever had it react to downshifting and passing. Okay, let's actually test the sound system. So you have these buttons on the steering wheel to control your volume. You have to hit them. Actually, that's not even reacting to me right now. Look at that. Got to be patient with these buttons. Okay, or you just use the volume knob, and that's a lot easier. But honestly, really impressive Bose system in here. I didn't get to test this a ton at the launch event. Would you say? I mean, I think it sounds pretty good. Yeah. Really, really nice punches from the bass. The highs are pretty nice. You've got these nice tweeters here mounted on the A-pillars, and I mean, it's pretty appropriate for a $50,000 sound system. Yeah. quality test. People always ask what country I'm in based on the roads. All right, let's get this Murano into a parking spot. Actually, preferably one that isn't flooded, so we're gonna go over here. Should we go swimming? See how the Murano is as a boat? All right, let's back into this end spot here. Really do like this 360 camera.
There it is.
There it is. All right, into park. Pull on this parking brake, and we'll show you guys. Show you guys what spacing is like here in this parking spot. Fits in the spot with no problem. Obviously, an SUV this size is never going to be like difficult to park, especially when you have a 360 camera and everything like that. Yeah, fits in the spot nicely. Curious about rear doors. I was driving a Mazda CX-70 that just had massive rear doors, but these are actually a pretty good size. So, cool. All right, well, we're going to go into Beyond and get some smoothies, and then we'll wrap up on our way to Whole Foods. Walking back up to the Murano, obviously you could use your key fob and unlock the doors, but we do obviously have keyless entry with this little button. We don't have one where you can reach your hand in and it will automatically unlock, but this is nicely ergonomically placed where your thumb does hit that button, mirrors unfold, and it also unlocks the back doors. No rear proxy key, which is a little bit of a bummer. They could have just put 2 other buttons on the back doors. Emily's magically spawned in the car. How did you get in here? Yeah. So now we have to put the smoothies somewhere.
I've moved your cup.
I see that.
I'll
so your
just hold
smoothie will
mine.
go there. Well, no, I can put mine down here, though. Hold on. So I can fit this down here. Yeah, that fits just fine. It's a little small for that pocket, but it does make it so you can have 4 drinks up front, which is often needed.
I'm a 2-drink girly at minimum, so this is helpful.
2 drinks, and then 3 drinks, and then 4 drinks.
Yeah.
And the first 2 have this much left at the bottom.
Hey.
Okay, let's start this back up. So many cars now are like playing little songs when you start them.
Yeah.
Hyundais, Kias, Audis, Nissans.
Genesises.
Yeah, Genesis. All right, we're going to make the like 2-mile trek down the road to Whole Foods. I really want to drive through this. I'm going to do it. And to drive, obviously the parking cameras don't automatically come on, but there's a physical button for them if you would like to see the front of your car. So that's nice. So many things in this car are so easy to access, and then other things are just not. You said earlier it kind of looked like a Range Rover?
It does.
We're waiting.
Yeah,
We're doing Range Rover things. Look. Also, unlike some cars with pano roofs, the sunroof actually opens on this. Sometimes cars, you know, everything now has this big pano roof, and sometimes they don't open, but the Murano opens. Yeah.
Your cup is sliding in the storm.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, it was the turbo lag. All right, well, I guess we ought to go ahead and wrap it up as we are pulling into the grocery store. We'll, of course, show you after we're done at the grocery store, and that will be the true wrap-up. We'll show you how all the bags fit in here and everything. I don't really think we're buying a ton today, are we?
I don't think so.
Probably like 2 or 3 bags worth of stuff.
We'll see.
But I genuinely think this is a really nice effort from Nissan, and it's nice to see this as a new era product. It kind of gives me hope for the future of the brand, and I know we've made some little complaints here and there, but coming from some of these older Nissan models that are so dated, that have so many things that we don't like, to have something that only has a couple of head scratchers is very good progress for Nissan. So I'm proud of them for making this new Murano. I think it's cool that they kept the Murano name around. I mean, the Murano's been around now for, I think over 20 years. It was like the early 2000s it came out with the NAV6, the CVT, which was the formula they kept up until the 2025 model year with this new one that was a bit of a game changer. So I like it. I think it looks mostly good. What do you think?
Yeah, I like it too.
Happy with it?
Comfortable.
Yeah.
It looks good.
Yeah.
Outwardly.
Let's go between these very brightly colored subcompact SUVs. Trailblazer and a Kona. That's a good color on that Kona.
Yeah. I do also really like the color of the Trailblazer.
I know, they're both too. And then
As
us.
a color.
Beige.
Yeah, beige.
Yeah.
Like, this is beautiful.
We have to add some realism here.
Yeah, right.
Good colors, champagne silver. This car feels way too big for this spot right now.
I think it's okay.
I mean, we're perfectly in the lines. The butt's hanging over the back a little bit, but we're not blocking a sidewalk or anything, so who
I'm
cares?
shocked that the reverse, like the braking system didn't brake.
It's because I had my foot on the brake.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, actually, that's not true because I had my foot on the brake earlier. I think it's because I was going so slow. I think it only activates if you're going above a certain speed.
Got it.
Otherwise, it figures if you're only going like a mile per hour that you're going to be able to stop yourself. All right, parking brake on. Let's get out and evaluate now that we have a car on either side. Someone's already whacked that Kona. Look at that door ding on there.
Oh, that's bad. I'm gonna sit in here until you're done.
Okay, sounds
It's just a little too cold for me.
Okay. All right, let's get out. So I can go 2 notches here. Can easily get out with a car parked next to me. Rear door can go 1. Yep, you can do 2 notches on that rear door as well. So yeah, no problem. I am gonna have to stand up there to load the car later, but that is okay. Yeah, I think we're fine. I don't think we're in too much danger to be door dinged today. So, all right, let's go into the store, get our groceries, and we'll wrap it up once we're on our way out. Ready?
Ready.
All right. Walking back up to the Murano today with 3 bags of groceries. Emily has already magically spawned inside. I'm curious to see if this has a kick feature on the back. Not seeing one, luckily. Oh, I was wrong. It does have a kick feature. All right. Lots of people around. Here we go. Okay, so obviously plenty of room back here for the groceries. I don't think the bag hangers would do too much for us right now. I think they would just fall right off of that. But if you have smaller bags, obviously you could use those to your advantage. I think some of the things we could maybe squish down into those compartments. Underneath the trunk floor is just a spare tire. So I think the most logical spot for all of these bags is going to be the back seat. And since this teal Trailblazer is leaving, I'm going to do that over here. I forgot there's a BMW trim piece on the floor back here. Raptor R, very nice. All right, yeah, we can squeeze all this stuff back here. So, yeah, 3 bags fit behind the passenger seat in Emily's position there, no problem. I think even with this being a flat floor, they should stay in here. Okay, so, all right, well, I'm gonna use the fob to close trunk. And that will wrap it up for us today with the 2025 Nissan Murano Platinum. Genuinely a really nice effort from Nissan. I know we gave it a little bit of a hard time in some categories, but I hope Nissan pays attention to some of the criticisms that they're getting from journalists and know that 99% of them do want Nissan to succeed because we all love Nissan. The brand has great heritage. They've made a ton of cool cars over the years. I mean, every Nissan sports car I've ever driven, I've absolutely loved, and it would be such a shame to see this brand go away. What do you think?
It would.
Yeah, so, all right. Well, that'll do it for us today. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions about what it's been like to live with this new Murano or just any questions about the Murano in general. But we'll see you in the next one.
Maybe it'll be a road trip.
Yeah. That guy just parked so aggressively. All right. All right, we'll see you in the next one, guys. Take care.
Put that in there.
Okay.